All right.
Hey guys, welcome back to episode 2. It's Rage and
Saint.
this monkey.
Okay.
And today we're going to be discussing some interesting topics. We have some interesting topics for you guys today. So to start off, beforehand, we just want to thank all of you guys for tuning in to episode 1. We really, really appreciated and valued all the feedback. It was very, very helpful, very insightful. So we are trying to put that into practice.
Yeah, no, like we truly appreciate like you guys taking time and genuinely listening in. And like the feedback that we have gotten, we've taken it close and we've
Yep.
we've been trying to improve.
Yep. So today, okay, so me and Saint noticed a distinct pattern between successful and non-successful archive pages within this community. Saint, why don't you talk a little bit about what you told me?
So yeah, like what I noticed between successful and non-successful pages. Again, I've only been doing this for like about 2 years. I know other pages have been doing it for years on top of years on top of years, but it really depends on a few factors like the motivation behind the admin. Sometimes there's multiple admins behind a page, so it's either motivation for individuals or if it's dependent on other people. There's also page types that I'd like to go into as well. Kind of like anime or manga pages, aesthetic pages, or informational, inspirational kind of pages. And then just going deeper into it, like the content and then like the connections, and if a page hits kind of a stagnant point, and really it depends on how the admin deals with that stagnancy. I think I'm just gonna go into the biggest one, honestly. The most important one, in my opinion, is connections. So a lot of successful pages are good at networking with other pages. They're either in group chats or have made group chats. They're collaborating with other pages, and overall, like they're making good connections where if they need some kind of help or in the creative space, they have people they can go ahead and ask. And I think without any connections, you're not going to have a good page. And later on, you're not going to have those people you can ask on in like the creative space. So you're really hindering your project building abilities in the future, I guess.
I noticed that with my page as well. Like I wasn't going to start a page because we had the podcast idea before I decided to start an archive page. And Saint suggested that I do because it wouldn't really make sense for to have a podcast about archives before starting an archive page. So I did. And Saint was kind of able to get me those connections that she's talking about that allowed me to grow my page super fast. I know I'm talking like I have like 2K, but I don't. I personally think that I would not have reached the amount of followers that I have without those connections and those reshares and those group chats, etc. So I think, yeah, it's really important to have connections. You can make big moves with the right connections. Like I know that I know that some of our mutuals, they even got follows from like Kanye and stuff like that. It increases your credibility and relevancy within the community.
No, definitely. Actually, I was just talking about the Kanye following kind of thing with other pages. I don't know who, when, where, what, but yeah, there was a point where Kanye was just following random people who were either posting about him or who had like a black screen. And it was so crazy because I know there's this one page, Observations. His page grew pretty fast because he got that Kanye West follow. I don't know how he's doing now, but definitely connections is a big one. Like for me, when I first started out, I didn't know anything or anyone, and I just hopped into it not knowing what the fuck an archive page is. Within the first month, I think I hit 1,000, and it's because I kept reaching out to people. I kept like commenting. I kept trying to join in group chats, and I don't think I would have grown as fast as I did without that. And another important thing is content.
So I like to center my posts around fashion, just things that I find really cool and really, really appealing that I'd like to bring attention to because I'm also doing this for myself. Like I want to look back on this and just see like a a little archive of all my favorite things. I don't do random packs. I don't might in the future, but it's not.
Yeah. Random packs. Some people say like it could actually hurt your page, and other people say it's a good way to post versatile content.
It depends on your niche audience, I think, because from who I've spoken to, if you start out by posting a bunch of random packs along with other types of content and everything is getting attention, then that means your audience likes all of that stuff. But if you're on the come up, you can't just switch to random packs, if that makes sense. And that goes with any type of content. You can't just switch midway and then expect it to do well like right away. It's gonna take time to rebuild your audience.
I definitely agree with that. For me, like when I didn't utilize random packs because I just wasn't in a place where my page was stable enough with its engagement to post those random packs, you know? Now I utilize them more and it's much easier for me, especially when I color code. I don't try to color code all the time. I just do it like sometime when I color code, I want attention from archive pages, but when I don't color code, I'm trying to get on the explore page. I don't know, pages who create like original content get more attention from both the audience and archive pages, people who just post packs. Yeah. Sorry, I'm eating a banana.
Oh, of course you are, Justin.
Chill. How's that bro, whatever. Posting packs is also a good way to kind of deal with your page hitting that like it's not going down, it's not going up with an already built fan base, right? Not fan base, follower base. People just share it and Instagram will be like bing 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 him. He's going off the charts, you know? But yeah, that's one way to deal with like low engagement. Sometimes people have shadow bans. There's so much that goes into just like the topic of shadow ban. Like some people are like, no, it's a myth. And others are like, no, it's not. Like there was this whole point where if I was in a group chat, if someone sent their own posts like repeatedly, it could put everyone in that group chat on a shadow ban for whatever reason. I don't know what it is. It just happened.
You know, it would be interesting to get somebody's perspective on this that is very, very familiar with the behind the scenes of Instagram and its algorithm, like somebody in, I don't know, maybe software engineering or something along those lines who are just familiar with the.
Someone who works at Instagram.
Yes, because they would be able to confirm whether it's quote unquote a myth or not, because I do know that they have some things integrated into the algorithm that kind of it's automated and it kind of quote unquote like protects its users. And that's one of those things, for example, like you said, sending your posts in the group chat too much and that type of thing. It's just it's an they integrated it into the app. It like it looks out for these types of things. Because they don't want bots because there's so many accounts.
Excuse me. Speaking of bots, when I first started out, I thought I was so genius for this. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to other pages. I'm gonna find like similar pages to mine, go to their first post, go to whoever liked it, and follow a bunch of people, and then they'll follow me back, and I'll unfollow.
Yeah.
Like that worked really well. Like
Yeah,
it's,
that's actually a really good strategy if you're gonna start a page. That's like a
but it got me shadow banned
damn.
so much, and I think that's probably like I did that so much, like I got maybe 3 shadow bans because of that, and then I was like, "Alright, like, I gotta quit this." And I think that's why my main page, Saint Central got deleted after a year. Literally right after I hit 5K, it got deleted, and that's why I'm Saint Docs. It was so weird because after, like, almost a year of having Saint Docs, they gave me back Saint Central.
Yeah, I know that the algorithms for each social media platform is they're all different and they all have these kinds of protocols, but they're not going to tell you about it. It's probably in the long ass terms of service that we don't read when we make an account. But it's I definitely want to involve somebody in this who knows about it and can explain, because it would help creators a lot if we can actually like any creator, not just archiving, just literally any creator could benefit from their input. But
Archive pages are so important because the admin doesn't really have to worry about creating the content, more so just reading the algorithm, which I think is a really valuable skill set, especially when
Mhm.
going into media marketing.
Yes, absolutely, yeah, for sure.
I don't know. That's probably like the biggest thing why like the biggest reason why I stick with archiving. Um, Even though it makes me absolutely angry sometimes. And sometimes I'm just like, you know what? I want to delete it. I don't care anymore.
Yeah, it can even I'm not gonna lie though, making actual content, like informational content sounds so cool. Like, I know this is slightly off topic, but I know a lot of archive pages have, you know, been making the transition into actual content because if they are going to be making beneficial content that is along the lines of what they're already posting on their archive, then they can kind of almost transfer their fan base over there. So it's because a lot of people they want face reveals and this, that, and the third, and they want to know like your personality behind the page and that type of shit. So if you have an archive page already and there are people who want to see that from you, then you can start making content and it can be successful. And there are people I know who are even using it to make music. And that is somebody who we're currently trying to get on the episode, but we'll see.
Yeah. No, just speaking on that, trying to get people on, it is very hard to get guests on. Like when we started this podcast, we were like, oh my God, like, it's nice, it's gonna be fun. But
Yeah.
man, it is hard, like just getting your schedules, aligning with other people's schedules. And sometimes just responsibilities pop up out of nowhere, or there has to be a cancellation, or, the person just forgets. And that's just how life is.
I don't know if people know how much effort and how much work it takes to get one thing together because we have the promotional post, we have the recording, we have to edit the recording, we have to like make new visuals now because of like it's a lot of work. That's why I have a lot of actually like respect for content creators who are actually putting in the effort to make something good, not just throwing shit together, you know?
But I do agree with what you're saying. A lot of people don't understand how much effort and how much organizing and like time is being put into this. Like, I don't know who, someone was telling me, like, one of my friends were telling me, like, oh, why don't you like post like weekly instead of bi weekly? And I'm like, I don't have enough time for that. I have real life things, I have like other pages to run. I am still in university and I have a job.
Yeah.
Um, on top of that, there's so much organization for the thing alone. Like we have meetings we have to set up to talk about things we want to accomplish. We have to record a practice meeting and then like an actual meeting and then write notes and it's a lot. And again, just going back to connections, like if you're doing something where you're building a project, um, you got to make sure like the connections that you have
Yep.
you could have one of them helping you in that project, and it's good to have that help because you guys have, like, the same goal or, like, the same you guys think pretty much the same,
Yep.
you know what I mean? Sometimes when I feel like it's getting really difficult, I post these, like, little things on my stories called "A Little Reminder for Those Who Need Them." It's super cheesy, and I hate it, but
Wait, hold on. So wait, is this getting real? Is this our new segment? Are we gonna listen, guys, we wanna include segments. So you know what? Let's okay, cue the music or whatever the fuck intro we have going on. Alright, so we have this segment called Getting Real, and basically it's we hope to include this in future episodes, but we're going to talk a little bit more about the mental aspect of this community and this content creation in general. The mental aspect is pretty it's taxing. Like nothing it's not it comes with a everything comes with a price. Like it that's one of the prices that you pay
yeah,
to content
we
creator.
pay
Like you
taxes
tax a little bit.
with our
It's
lives.
taxed with your mental.
Um, yeah, and, like, whenever I feel like that is getting too much, I kinda sit down and I take a week break, or, I'll sit down and I'll, like, literally reflect. Like, it sounds so cheesy and so bad, but, like, I'll reflect on how this archive page has helped me and how even losing my motivation, I should keep going with it because it's part of a bigger goal. And I'll sit down and I'll make these like little posts on my stories called a little reminder for those who need them. And I noticed that's when I get the most engagement from my stories. That's when I get people like literally going out of their way and being like, I needed this, thank you. Or like that's when I get the
Yeah,
most likes on my stories. And I kind of feel like admins behind these pages all kind of have a similar mindset. Both admins and followers, they're trying to get the best mental health and they deeply value talks or advice on how to become the best versions of yourselves.
definitely. Yeah, I noticed that as well. Like, even just talking to fellow like archive consumers, like I've mentioned this before, but I've literally met friends through being an archive consumer because they were also archive consumers. And they, like you mentioned, they tend to have a similar mindset because we're all kind of consuming the same shit. So it just it works. And I just wanted to mention that I am almost 100% confident that any content creator, no matter what type of content they're making, they have to do they have to reflect as well because it does become taxing. Social media is not something that is very healthy for your mind as a whole, right? Like I think we can all agree, even though it does have a lot of benefits, don't get me wrong, but I think we can all simultaneously agree that it's not really good for your mind in excess. And it's very hard to avoid the excessive, indulgence in this type of stuff.
Definitely. Like, I think social media definitely has a lot to offer. I mean, I've been growing up with Instagram since I was like 12, and I've
Yeah, for real.
account to run, whether it's like my personal page that was big at the time, or I had like an art account, or a meme page, and now an archive page. And like my life has just been Instagram. And like some days I'm like sitting and like, if it wasn't for me having these big goals and wanting to get into a creative space, into the creative world, I wouldn't have Instagram and I wouldn't care, and I'd delete it, and I probably would go back to having
Yeah.
my flip phone.
Flip phone is crazy.
Nah, flip phone is so nice, bro.
They're nice if you're trying to, like, cut down, but I think I don't know, I can't live without my phone. I have everything that I need, every piece of information that I need to be an adult is on my phone. Like,
Oh, yeah, that's what I did, but I did, like, during Ramadan, I tried to do, like, the whole month of no smartphone,
you
and,
failed
like,
after
even
a
it
week.
didn't. Shut up!
It was 1 week. You lasted 1 week.
I failed after 1 week, yes, but it's because I had enough motivation to go back to Instagram, and I'm like, "I can't like, if I keep going with this, I'm gonna quit archiving." So I had to go back
Yeah,
and
you lose that momentum. I lose momentum easily as well.
yeah, so I had to get back and get the momentum, but, like, even with a week, like, I was thinking clearer, I wasn't, like, upset, and I'm pretty good at, like, myself and, like, controlling my feelings and using cognition, to make decisions, but, like, it just
Yes!
dopamine, like, what is it called, bro?
The,
Help me
um
out.
so basically fry your dopamine receptors by consuming all of this media because it's instant gratification, right? So your brain is overstimulated with all of this dopamine constantly when we aren't built like that. And as somebody with ADHD, it's almost detrimental. Like I could talk for hours about how badly I need to dopamine detox and I am intending to start doing that this summer. I really want this summer to be or this year to be a year of self-improvement because I feel pretty stagnant, I'm not gonna lie. Because I do have some goals with my page and my content, but I feel like it's funny because the problem is also the solution. Because the problem is social media and and that type of thing, but it's also what I need to get my creative spark going, if that makes sense.
I'm not gonna lie, I just had a brain fart, and I have no idea where we're at right now.
Okay, we're talking about dopamine addiction when it comes to social media.
Oh, yeah. No,
So,
it's terrible. Like, so I used to have a TikTok archive account as well, and I cheated at it a little, I had a personal page, it had 25K, and then I turned it into an archive page, and then I gained like 50 well, I'm at 56K, and then I turned it back into a personal because I just hated it. Like, there's such a difference between an archive page on a TikTok versus Instagram. And TikTok, there's no community, it's less effort, and you can't really utilize it in real life as much as you can on Instagram. It's really just there to say, like, yeah, I got like 30K on TikTok, but you can't do anything with that because almost anyone can have 30K. It's impressive if you have like 200K
Yeah.
or like 800K, you know? That
Haven't you noticed, like, the follower currency and the engagement currency on different platforms is totally different? Because almost everybody can blow up on TikTok if they're just consistent, and they don't have to actually make content. People will follow and like just because they find you attractive or funny or whatever the case may be, and you have to put almost it's literally just like posting stories to Instagram. You get so many followers, like, and that's why I really think that it would be interesting to have different types of content creators up on here from different platforms, hopefully in the future, not in the immediate future, but if we continue with more seasons and stuff, that's something that I would really, really be open to doing. So let me know what you guys think about that. But going back to what I was saying, the follower currency on different platforms is completely different. It's completely and it's so weird how that works.
not even that, it's also, like, the motivation behind it, like, if there's no community and not a lot
Yeah.
of effort put into it, and overall you can't even use it in real life for anything, you're not gonna keep up with it, you know?
Ironically, that I was gonna say, ironically, for people who aren't trying to make content, they just wanna post, that actually makes it easier in some ways. Because I know people who prefer just shit posting and spamming on their TikTok because it's low effort and the engagement and the reach is very, very high because they just push your shit everywhere, especially if you're hot. So, they just it's very easy, like, it's way less effort than Instagram. It's like posting stories almost. That's what TikTok is. It's just a bunch of freaking Instagram
I
stories.
guess there is somewhat of an effort to it as well, because
Yeah.
I put in a lot of effort into Instagram, but it's a different kind of effort when it comes to TikTok,
Yes, exactly.
and I feel like it just has a more mental toll when
Mm.
you're doing Instagram and TikTok or just TikTok alone, you know?
Because think about how easy it is for you if you don't like something, it's not giving you any dopamine and you're bored, you can just immediately scroll and change it to something that's gonna stimulate your brain. And you become overstimulated and desensitized to actual real life things that give you dopamine. But it creates this cycle of low mood because now real life things will never give you as much dopamine as TikTok and Instagram will. So you don't even enjoy, like, you're literally not enjoying life. You need to go outside and touch grass at a certain point.
You're definitely living life through someone else when you're constantly consumed by the media, but it's also I can't delete TikTok either. We'll go into it, like, in another episode, probably more in depth, but just to cover the bases, I can't delete TikTok either because sometimes I use it as a Google, especially as a girl, bro, like
Literally, yes. Yes. If I need to find a tutorial, bro, if I need to find a tutorial on anything and I can't quite remember what it was, just put it in TikTok and the video pops up.
exactly, especially if you wanna, like, find, like, good clothing brands too, like, they've moved from Instagram to TikTok.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Are we wrapping this up? Okay, let's leave them with one last question. And this is something that has arisen in my mind because of something my cousin said. Shout out Layla if you're listening. She's not listening to this, but she said when I told her we're doing a podcast on archiving, you know what the first thing she said to me was?
But
Ah, she's doing that chronically online shit.
bro!
So here's the question. Hold on. Are we chronically online? Listen, I thought the chronically online motherfuckers were the people on Twitter just be saying anything and getting mad at everything and just not really just there mentally. I thought that's what it meant to be chronically online. I don't even know what chronically online means anymore.
Well, okay, so how I thought it meant is, like, we're just constantly online, you know, but, like, we still have a brain. That's the thing. This is why I hate Twitter, bro. Like, people
No, I hate Twitter.
let me explain why I hate Twitter. Um, people they're they don't think, bro. They're so dumb. Like they got their heads in their asses and they're like, "This is funny. I say it."
It's always it's always black and white. You can never be in the middle on Twitter. It's always something against it's always they're always pitting 2 things against each other, and you can never be in the middle on an issue.
And there's so much boobs, bro.
What did you say?
There's so much boobs. Even on Instagram. Hold on.
Whoa, what the hell? What do you mean?
There's this one account that posts boobs and butts everywhere.
What are you talking about? What just happened? We were talking about chronically online stuff, and now you're talking about boobs, bro.
No, I'm saying like on Twitter, like there's like that's what when I think of Twitter, I'm thinking of people who just like go on there for like boobs and butts, right? And then I was thinking like, oh, like people on
Mhm.
Instagram who have unsuccessful archive pages, you know, because they're just posting women's bodies and like literally they're like, I need this.
They're not real, bro. They're actually not real.
In terms of like who's not in touch with reality, the most it goes Reddit, um, Discord, Twitter.
Instagram. No, TikTok. Bro, TikTok users are so mad for no reason. Bro, TikTok users are always pissed off at something, and I don't know why. They're literally so mad. Yeah, so that leaves us with that question to ask you guys. What do you guys think about archivists and people in the community? Like, are we chronically online? Are we not? Do you consider us as part of those or not?
Okay. Bye bye.
Kill yourself. No.